I am now creating weekly exclusive content for Patreon, so if you are interested in that, go check out the link down below. And of course, if you want to avoid the random lottery of FIFA points, you want to go straight to the source, buy the players directly, use u7buy.com and use the code TVM at checkout. What is going on, guys? TVM here. Welcome back to another player review. I managed to get this guy yesterday, spoiler alert, in the Road to Glory. Tradable, not through the Bundesliga pack, which surprised me slightly. That pack wasn't quite as good, although still a decent player. I think I might do a little review, but I don't think it'll be on the channel. It'll probably be a Patreon exclusive review. Those reviews tend to be around the 5-minute mark. They get straight to the point, no messing, and they tend to be players that I don't think many people would really care about. Not that I'm discrediting the Patreon. You guys know the situation, but yeah, I think I'm going to put it up there as well as a couple of others. But with that being said, we have a 96 rated team of the season, Mats Hummels, which a lot of people will class as either, what's the terminology people use these days, either a small dub or a small L, whichever way you want to look at it. It depends on what you put into that SBC. But as I say, he's around 150, 160k on Xbox and PC. He's about 140 on PlayStation as I'm recording this. So that's where the small L, small dub come in. I think it's a good looking card. I think it's got an awful lot to offer in terms of defensive ability. He's got some really good short passing. His composure and his ball control and his reactions are all the rest of it are actually in the right place. You know, they're all in and around the right area. He was given a flashback card once upon a time, which incidentally was around 150,000 coins. So considering the fact that this 96 rated team of the season is about the same price as that flashback was, I think if you did the flashback, you'd feel hard done by. But if you didn't and you regret missing out on it, then you know you've got this 96 rated card to go and pick up. Now, he's not without his faults, and the first of which is in the acceleration. 68 acceleration is not great for a centre-back by any stretch of the imagination. The sprint speed is 81, so there is a massive gap there and a huge need for improvement. Now, ideally, perfect world scenario here, everyone has unlimited shadows to throw about the place. Unfortunately, I'm not one of those people who often use shadows, and if I do, it has to be on a player that I am adamant I am not going to sell for a long while, because obviously I want to get my money's worth, and shadows sell for a ridiculous amount of coins, right? So if you were to use one, you'd get 83 acceleration, 91 sprint speed, which is banging. And then of course 99 for everything on defending, which is quite rare. You've got really good physicals there, 99 strength. The aggression is 87, which is quite good. The stamina is 80, but that's fine. 98 short passing, 95 vision, and then 99 composure, 98 ball control, 99 reactions, 82 dribbling. You've got a really good card there. 97 rated centre-back. I mean, that is endgame in every sense of the word. However, I didn't do that. I put an engine on him. Was that a stupid idea? Probably. My thought process was, I'm not willing to spend the whatever it is to get a shadow. I haven't even looked these days. For all I know, they could be back down to 8k, but I'm guessing they're in and around the 20,000 mark, maybe even more, right? So I went with an engine because we get a little acceleration boost up to 73, which is just about respectable, but then we've got 86 sprint speed, which is good. So hopefully we hit somewhere in the middle there and he doesn't feel too slow. The other point was, we get a nice little agility boost up to 83. The balance goes up to 81. We refine the dribbling up to 92, and the ball control goes up to 99. Not only that, but again, we refine the short passing up to 99, vision up to 99, crossing is irrelevant, free kick is exactly the same. So the engine, in my case, I think was probably for the best. The anchor was the other option, but the way that I see it is we get the same boost with an anchor. I mean, it turns into a 98 rated centre-back with an anchor, so you could argue that this is the best way to go, but I don't really feel like you need a defensive stat boost. You've already got ridiculously high defensive stats. You know, you're in the sort of 94 plus for everything. You've got 98, 99, 98, 95, 94. I mean, that is fantastic. You don't really need an anchor. If you get one, you still get the 5 acceleration and sprint speed, which you do with the engine. You get 10 aggression and 10 jumping. The jumping is irrelevant because he's already 6'3" anyway, with potentially, 95 heading. So I just don't see how, even on paper, it looks good, but it's not necessary. The engine is going to refine a few things that I think will make him feel a little bit better. Now, into the clips we are now, and I'm going to basically get to the point quite quickly here. The card is good, but with the key points that I've pointed out, those are the weak spots. And that is probably why a lot of people will maybe use him for a few games and then decide, you know what, I am probably better off going for my not quite as high rated, not quite as good defensively, but slightly quicker, more agile centre-back. Now, obviously, next to him, we've got PK. PK's screen card is good. Maybe it is behind the curve at this point. I think he has a team of the season, which you could pick up. I've heard good things. So, feel free to do so. But having two of the same type of defender can cause problems. Like, if you had, for example, Joe Gomez team of the season next to Hummels, you've got a different type of player there, because Joe Gomez is naturally quick. He doesn't feel like a robot. He doesn't feel stiff and like a bus. I mean, I know a lot of people do in FIFA. Even Alejandro Gomez can feel like a bus at times, because that's just the way that the game goes. But you know what I mean. For the most part, at least, he does have a little bit of mobility to him. So playing a player like that next to Hummels will feel a lot better. So having two of the same type of like stiff, almost just non-mobile defenders really can cause problems. I will say that out loud. And that's probably why I'm looking to maybe sell Hummels going forward. Obviously, I packed him. He does actually go into the team. You've obviously seen the team already. And that is the Road to Glory team. That's the team I'm using in Champs right now. I am a little bit behind because I kind of stopped for 2 months on that account playing and sort of trying to improve the team. But then Team of the Season came out, the desire to play came back, and now I'm sort of playing catch-up, and being on PC as well, I'm playing even more of a catch-up game because things are harder to come by. But, with that being said, I thought Hummels being packed would sort of spur me on, really, and that he would slot into the defence, and he does, and he fits in there beautifully for chemistry, because obviously links with Ter Stegen, gets a strong link to Kimmich, and then Odriozola needs updating, but once we get Hakimi, for example, we're laughing. However, Hummels doesn't have enough positivity around him in terms of his stats and his ability for me to warrant keeping him, unfortunately. I mean, like I said, I might have a weekend league with him. I might keep him for a week or two, because I don't really see him dropping below 150, which is what I've sort of earmarked in my head as the sell price on PC. So if I get 150k from him, I'll be happy. So I'm more than pleased to keep him for a little while. But he has a high attacking work rate, which for the most part isn't too much of a problem, but can cause issues now and again. So sometimes, and I would literally say it's less than 1 in 10, but however many defensive challenges you have to make in game, just think one of them he won't be there for, because one of them he would have trotted up the pitch a little bit when you had a counter-attack or you were in possession and you were trying to find a way through a drop back, and all of a sudden you've lost the ball. Hummels is a little bit too far forward. His acceleration isn't up to speed, quite literally, and he can't get the legs going quick enough to venture back and stop that attack. That is one of, if not the biggest problem with this card. You've got two things conspiring against each other there. You've got low acceleration and a high attacking work rate. And that doesn't kill the whole thing, because he's still a very good defender. And when he's in position, which is quite often to be fair, he is very, very good. He's robust, he's strong. Getting past him is almost impossible once you are sort of squaring up to him, if you will. You can try and run round him. If you've got room to run him behind, yeah, okay, you probably will win that battle, because you can just knock it past him and go play a ball round the outside of him or whatever. But if you're in and around the penalty area, for example, if you play a drop back system, which I'm assuming most of you do but won't admit to, then you should be fine with him for the most part, because you won't be pushing further forward for that gap to be left in behind. You should be fine for him to just sort of stay on the edge of the area and make sure that nothing goes past him. It's a shame, really, and a disappointing one for me, because I think he's a fantastic defender of the ball. His passing from the back is brilliant. And he won't get caught in behind all the time. That's just one of those scenarios where I'm looking for perfection more than anything. He's still a very good, very capable defender. If you own him and you've got him untradeable from the Bundesliga pack, you've done well. Honestly, you can put him in your team and you can get by with it. The only reason why I'm looking to shift him on is because it's 150k I could be putting into something else that would maybe get me a little bit more of enjoyment. And he replaced Champions League Sergio Ramos, who I don't really see as being that much worse than Hummels. They both have high attacking work rates. Ramos feels a little bit more mobile, and that's the only reason why I've decided that Hummels would probably be better if he went, because the Ramos is untradeable, so I'd rather just have the coins. But if I got him in that untradeable Bundesliga pack, I'd be more than happy to keep him in there in defence with PK and Ter Stegen behind him, because he does fit in there really well and he is a solid defender. Just be wary, if you do end up picking him up or you have him and thinking of using him, just be wary that the positioning now and again can be a little bit ropey due to that high attacking work rate, and then of course his tracking back skills, without a shadow I might add, not the best because the acceleration is on the low side. If you flip them round and the sprint speed is 73 with a chem style and the acceleration is 86, I don't think it's too much of a problem, because at least he'll be able to catch up very quickly. Even if he does start to slow down over time, at least he'll get there to be able to jockey the attacker. So just bear that in mind. But like I said, a shadow, and you should get rid of all those problems. The only issue with that is he will then feel even more stiff than he already does. If you don't mind that, but you'd rather the acceleration, then yeah, by all means go for it. And if you've got him untradeable, spending 20k or so on a shadow isn't going to break the bank anyway. But there we go, my opinion of him in a 10-minute nutshell. If you have used him, let me know what you think of him. Do you enjoy him? Do you not enjoy him? Bit of a banging centre-back, to be fair. Just got that little catching behind issue that I'm sure most people will not be happy with. But drop back people will love this card, I'm sure. If you have enjoyed the video, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you do, and until the next time, goodbye.
Football Index. The game changed. Download the app now.